Or
Okay, this
stars
one's
die
tough.
too.
It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. Yeah. Some really bassy music. Sounds like I'm in the back of a club somewhere. Blurst of times.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Huh. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? Okay, this is where you guys decide. Do we want a refrigerator, TV, or a giant hole in the ground? Oh god. Thanks for following. That startled me a little bit. I'm almost leaning for refrigerator, but I don't know, what do you guys think? Hole. Okay, let's go hole. Well, thanks for listening to me. Along the wall of the room. I want 10 stoves. Yeah, I thought so. Light up the room a bit. Tesla coils in each corner. Yeah. And a table. You need a table. I'm pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference. Whoa, okay.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
That is cool. Like a maze furniture.
So, okay, he throws
Furniture
it out
maze.
and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully and take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. That's a nice shiny floor. Good, now go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa and move it over a little. Finally, touch the shelves. Oh, I'm gonna touch those shelves good. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Oh, so I have to remember that? Okay. Maybe I can remember it all. Yeah, no kidding. Click the door 8 times and or 5 times and it turns into something ridiculous.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside.
That's weird.
Through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Okay. Oh, it's so quiet. It's gonna be me walking to the lamp. Oh, crickets. At least it sounds nice. Telephone booth. Oh, let's hop in. Wait, what was that? Okay. Oh, get in there. Hello, who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm from the prison after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation.
I was in the furniture maze.
What Coda wants is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
So what's it like to escape? Wow, okay. I'm gonna say I miss being in the prison. Maybe I'll make this guy feel better. Why? Was there anything about it you felt good about? Being here sucks. True, maybe I only like things once I don't have them anymore. It's comfortable, I knew its limits, I knew my place, but I don't feel excited. But don't you feel excited about getting out the promise of freedom? I like the first one. I do that too, I guess. But is that just how I'm going to be forever? I'd really like to change that. I think you'll find a way to change. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another person, another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. Tell me how to get out. Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? All you have to do to get out is be sincere. What? That will free me? How does that work? It will make sense. Sincere about what? That's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Well, this is different.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Ah, it is. Oh. Oh, it's cozy. Oh, that's weird though. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as all heck to say that you showed up. I thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and that right miserable that you would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games. including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on.
Well, that's good.
From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Okay, number 3 is most like me. Are we cleaning this whole place? That's the story, little one. Oh, don't you worry now, we'll be through this mess in no time. I promise you'll wish there was more. Why don't I finish up here? In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Only it was that easy. Much nicer there. That's the table I want to see. Now would you please run to the bedroom and make the bed? Sure, Mom. Oh, that's so cool. Alright. All the little details matter. Straighten up your rug a bit. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? Well, I don't enjoy it so much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel kind of calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul can't just be soothed any other way, it seems. Which I guess is all about that matters. Oh, and what a tidy couch. Oh, that and tidy the couch. Would you straighten the pillows on the sofa out there? Oh dear, it looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over there. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. Would you be okay with that? Yes, make it super cheesy. Oh dear, make it especially cheesy. Okay, what is it here? Aw. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Last time I checked, the tub needed cleaning. How about you scrub it down the best you can? No need to be perfect. We're all just human. There's still books scattered on the floor in the bedroom. If so, could you put them back on the shelf? Perfect. Clear these dishes off the table.
Set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Whatever work you do, you have to absolutely got to own it, otherwise it owns you. So why don't we be with the task at hand and leave the furniture chores to future you?
I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Smooth out the rug in the bedroom. Again. Gotten dirty. Oh boy. I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. But there's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books, would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Can I do it through the wall? Pillows on the couch are a real mess.
I'm glad he found some peace.
Question.
But
do you enjoy
of
this?
course, It can't last.
Oh boy.
The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
I didn't notice the lack of windows from the outside. Huh. Back. I just finished playing Cleaning Simulator, so... Lamp.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Items you love at members-only prices. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know who is well developed as a person? They make you feel disgusted with yourself. Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And that question is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly. This is easy. It is so easy. It is so
About
easy.
halfway through the game,
Being perfect is
perspective shifts.
effortless. Whoa, whoa. Okay.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
This is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? Wow, okay. Well, let me tell you right now, if it isn't effortless, then there's not the right answer. Am I only supposed to pick the yellow ones? I'm assuming so. Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Seek out only one thing, what you want. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? Ha ha ha, just kidding. Holy shit, guys, something is coming out of the back of the room, look out! See you later. It's coming for you, it's gonna destroy you.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
Alright, we're in the 2010s. Can't be much longer.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
He sure likes his modern furniture. Yeah, we gotta be close to getting to the end-ish. 2/3 of the way through, maybe? It's supposed to be an hour and a half long. Stage. Oh, this is so cool. It's detailed and normal. Oh god! Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. That scared the crap out of me. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are a gathering of professionals. First, you started by leaning against this wall. Oh. Stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair, a professional photographer of animals. It is your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello? Hello? That's it? That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. I like you. No, that's not what I said to tell her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew that what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. Give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent people nearby. Oh gosh. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this. I want to try stepping... I want to try stepping back from the stage. Whoa. Back to the prison. Starting to think this person that makes these games has a little bit of anxiety or something like that. That's kind of what that was conveying to me. I'm not sure. Okay, yes, now this is working.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting himself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
So, despite all that anxiety and stuff, he's sure good at visualizing and building worlds to convey something. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click here to begin the game. Okay. Okay, well, I looked, so... I kind of think that's meant to be what happens. What's going on? Oh. Tell me how to solve this. Oh, okay, wow. So it's looping.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
The only way to stop it is to speak something that's honest. I can't keep making these? Yes, that's it. That's the truth. I'm
Like
out
I
of
said,
ideas.
I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
That's interesting. What's this? Oh. Got that ASMR. Where did this island come from? I wonder if this music and all the sound effects were added in, or if he did that too. Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I've talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. Completely out of ideas. Oh no. What's happened? Did something change? It was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where this is. It isn't far. You have to take me to it. I can do that, but there's a problem.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
First, you have to open the door. Press the switch on the inside. Oops, I pushed the wrong button. Switch on inside. Okay, close the first door. I guess that's what they were looking for. Now the switch on the inside.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
There's some words on a wall. Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that the game development is simple and joyous, and that you'll love it 100% of the time. Okay. Making games is easy. Oh, this is sketchy.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Oh.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Interesting. The Machine. Glad to see you arrive safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. Tend to be quiet? Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press. So we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine is that its name is Coda. Okay, so it's Coda with a C, I guess. Oh. That's crazy. Huh. Oh, okay.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. Your work was keeping us alive? How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? You have to admit that you allowed people to suffer. Alright, then I will speak to them for you. Okay. My friends. I have a troubling revelation. The machine will not apologize to us. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. Let us show it that we are not failures. Do we destroy the machine or what it created? Oh. What it has created. Back on the stage. Okay. Oh. I will make sure that you're known forever. Oh, this is so weird. Isn't that what you're scared of, exposed to the view of others every day forever?
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realized that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Oh. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this, but I mean...
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
So what is the machine referring to? What does it symbolize? Put down your weapon. Oh god. I
Can you
can't
see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the
do
thing
anything
that
but
I always
shoot
feel
it.
like I need to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something. I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look. And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
And I wish it would show the walls of the maze, but...
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Wouldn't have been that simple. Wonder if that number has any significance. 15, 16, 17. So. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this game ends.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Sure interesting going from that first Counter-Strike map to something like this.
Where did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Huh.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally, for a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Interesting.
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean? I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself. That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Well, that's interesting.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution.
Don't think I can really come to a conclusion till, like,
I guess if someone
fully
had told
over.
me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you. If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
I don't think I could if I tried. Basically, Coda stopped making maps, and in the last one, requested that this guy, the narrator, stop talking to him and being involved with him at all. I believe this is the last map, so... I mean, that's jump into quite a bit of conclusions. We'll see. If it really ends at all.
Turn back. Turn back from this cave. You said